Hi everybody, welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alicia, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to talk about telling daily life stories with past tense and past progressive tense, and we're going to practice using them together. I know combining these types of grammar points can be challenging for many people. So today we're going to talk about when to use past tense, when to use progressive, past progressive today, and then at the end of the lesson, we're going to look at a sample, very simple, very easy story that you can use in everyday life. You can take the grammar points from this story and use it in your own life to tell your own story. So I hope this is a really, really helpful lesson because you can use these when you talk to your friends, your family members, your coworkers, just to tell those small daily life stories, which are really important for communication, yeah? So as you join, please, please, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so other people can find today's lesson. That would be great. Send a message in the YouTube and the Facebook chat. If you are watching this live, I will come to say hello in just a moment. And while we wait for people to join us live, I want to remind you about our team's banner here at the bottom of the screen, which says, get free PDF cheat sheets. If you have not checked recently, the team has added a bunch of new 100% free PDF cheat sheets for you to download. You can click the link below the video. If you're watching on YouTube, you will see many of the PDFs that look like this. You'll see those soon on the screen. And you will get to pick all of them if you want. You can choose all of them. You don't have to download only one or only two. You can choose everything that's here on this screen right now. The team has added some new PDFs also. If you have not checked, come back to this page. You need just your name and an email address to make a free account. Then come back to this page and you can download everything. So these are great to boost your vocabulary. So check that out. That's at EnglishClass101.com. Okay, let's get into it because I have a lot to explain as always. Hello everybody who's joining. Hello VS, hi. Hamid, hello. Patrick, what's up? Nil on Facebook, hello. I see that one right now. Okay, back on YouTube, hello. Inazuma, welcome. Rafika, hello everybody. Carlos, what's up? Great. Kashaf, hello. Oh my gosh, great. Hi, everybody. Oh, I remember you from last week. Don't spam. You sent a lot of spam messages last week. Okay, let's begin because we have a lot to talk about. Okay, let's begin today with simple past tense. Today, I'm not going to focus a lot on how we make the grammar. Today, we're going to practice a lot on when to use the grammar. Okay, so get ready to type your example sentences in the chat, or if you're not watching this live, put them in the comments. Okay, let's begin. Simple past tense. When should we use simple past tense? First, we use simple past tense for actions that started and ended in the past, okay? They are done. They are complete, okay? If we look at this on a timeline, here is the present, the star is now. Today we're going to focus on this part of the timeline, between the past and now, right? Long time. So if we imagine these blue points here, right here where it says start, it's small, start and end. We use past tense to talk about something that had the start and the end point in the past. It is done, okay? This is number one, point number one. Two, it has a specific point in time or a specific time period it happened, okay? So we know when the start point was and we know when the end point was, okay? There's a specific or clear point in time the action happened, all right? Third, we can use simple past tense for repeated past actions. This I showed here in green, repeated past actions, okay? For example, every month or every spring or every year, okay? So today we're going to practice these types. We're going to focus mostly on the first use of simple past tense, okay? But if you want to, you can get creative and use the repeated past action form also, all right? So let's begin with an easy warm-up. Let's make some simple past tense sentences, okay? You can send your simple past tense sentences in the chat and I will check them live. Hello to everybody who is joining now, welcome. Okay, let's go to the first example sentence, which is, I went to the office yesterday. I went to the office yesterday. The past tense verb here is went. Yeah? I went. This is the past tense form of go. Yeah? Go becomes went. This is an irregular past tense verb. Here I have yesterday as my specific point in time. We use went, and it shows the action is complete. Okay? Got it? Let's continue on to the next example sentence. Control desk, can we maybe go down on the screen here? Thank you so much. So let's go to the next example sentence. We had coffee last week. We had coffee last week. Thank you. So here is our past tense. We had coffee. Yes, you can change this to the verb drank. That's fine. But we had coffee last week sounds very natural also. In this sentence, we have last week as our specific point in time. Okay? All right, let's continue quickly on. I see some examples coming in. Someone on Facebook wrote, I went to the mall last night. Nice one. Great simple past tense. Alex wrote, I said hello to the teacher. Great one. Okay, nice one. Okay, let's continue. I'll come back in just a second to the chat. The third example, she helped me study. She helped me study. Here we have our past tense helped. Helped. This comes from the verb help, right? This is a regular past tense verb. Help becomes help. You'll notice here, there's no clear point in time, right? In this situation, we can maybe guess from the context, right? Like, oh yeah, I know her. She helped me study once before. We can use it in this way. There's not always a specific point in time. Sometimes it's okay not to use it, okay? Like when is not so important maybe. We just want to mention the action started and finished in the past. This is okay to do too. Okay, let's go to the next one. They planned a trip. Another one that has no specific point in time. They planned, so planned is the past tense form of plan, yeah? Another regular past tense form. They planned a trip. When? We don't have it in this sentence, but grammatically it's still correct to use. We just want to say they did this and it concluded, it finished at some point in the past. Okay, last one. He didn't leave the house. He didn't leave the house. We could say he didn't leave the house today or yesterday if we want to. This uses a negative. He didn't leave. In the negative form, we do not change the verb. In this case, leave. There's no change. However, we change didn't, or rather, we change do not to did not to make the past tense form. Okay? So, we use this to talk about actions that started and ended in the past. This is very important. We're going to talk about a different grammar point in part 2 and how to use them together. Let me check your examples. Erickson wrote, I wrote a letter to my teacher. Perfect, nice one. I'm looking for questions about today's topic. Patton's Nerd wrote, I used to, so to go play hockey every day. Just say go, or just say play. Choose one verb there. I used to play hockey every day. So yes, you've used to in that sentence to talk about a repeated past action. Okay, a little different from today's grammar point, but I used to play hockey every day is okay. Inazuma Marble wrote, I helped her study last week for an exam she had maybe the next semester. So I helped her study last week for an exam she has next semester, right? You're helping her study last week and she has an exam in the following semester, maybe, is what you want to say. Kashaf wrote, I drank apple juice a day before yesterday. Very, very good to know. Nice one. And Patrick wrote, my mom bought me a t-shirt last week. Great job, everybody. Okay, looks good. So with this in mind, nice easy warm-up, let's continue to part 2, okay? Part 2, we're going to talk about past progressive tense, okay? So I hope that you're excited about this. This is a good one to know, good one to practice, okay? Also, if you haven't, don't forget, there's a free PDF page from the link below the video if you want to get all of those for free. I'll tell you again later. I'll show it on the big screen again. For now, let's continue to the past progressive grammar point. When should we use past progressive? First, we use this for temporary actions in the past. Key point here. Please write this one down in your notebook. Temporary means short time. They continue for a short time. If we imagine this on a timeline where here is the present and here's the past. A temporary action continues and then ends at some point. We want to talk about something that was a short-term action, okay? We do this with past progressive. Maybe you know present progressive. For example, I am teaching, right? Something that is temporary now, yeah? We can use past progressive to talk about an action in the past that was continuing. Like last week at this time, I was teaching, right? Same idea, okay? Let's look at the second point. They often have a specific point in time, but not always. They often have a specific point in time, but not always. So you can use a point in time or a period of time when you talk about this grammar point. It's okay to do, it's okay not to do. Just like in the first part too. Sometimes we don't include the point in time because we understand from the conversation. Okay, so we have some interesting points to talk about here. So let's get into the basic examples first, and you can send your examples in the chat, okay? First, I was doing my homework at 8 p.m. last night. I was doing my homework at 8 p.m. So where is the past progressive? It is right here. I was doing. I was doing. To make the past progressive, we use the be verb in the past tense plus a verb in the ing form. Make sure the be verb matches your subject. So I was, or he was, or she was, right? They were, right? So make sure this be verb matches your subject. Then ing. I was doing my homework at 8 p.m. last night. In this example sentence, I have a specific point in time. At 8 p.m. last night. So I have this clear time the action was continuing. So this doesn't mean only for 1 minute at exactly 8 p.m. It means around that time. It doesn't mean exactly only for 1 minute, okay? This means around 8 p.m., right? I want to just talk about generally that time period, okay? Let's look at the second basic example. He was driving to work at 9 this morning. He was driving to work at 9 this morning. Here we have, where'd my pen go? He was driving to work. I want to write a red line. There we go. Okay, he was driving to work at 9 this morning. Same idea here. We have was driving. We have the was be verb to match our subject, he, ing verb form, and a specific point in time at 9 this morning, right? So again, this means around 9 this morning. This was his temporary action, okay? Maybe it took 30 minutes to drive to work, but we just want to say at 9, that's what he was doing at that time, okay? Let me check the chat real quick. Oh, great, some good ones are coming in. Saida wrote, I was cleaning the room when she came. Ooh, Saida, you're moving on to the next point already. Nice sentence, Saida, okay. The Black Eagle wrote, my aunt was making spaghetti at noon. Good, okay. Kashaf wrote, I was eating at 8 p.m. Nice examples, everybody. Oh, Natalie has one. I was preparing dinner for my family last night. Okay, nice examples. Now, let's level up. I have 2 points here to use to level up your past progressive sentences. They are using when and while to connect two other things, to connect two other actions. What do I mean? Let's look. So first, we can make an interrupted action sentence with when. I think Saida sent us a great example in the chat already. So what does this mean? It means we can describe a temporary action that is interrupted here, like on the timeline, interrupted by another past tense action, okay? So we can combine, we can put these two grammar points together with when, okay? This is how we use when together, all right? Very different from while, we'll talk about in a moment. Let's look at one example here. He was cleaning his house when the electricity went out. Oh no, he was cleaning his house when the electricity went out. This might be a new vocabulary word, the electricity went out. That means the power, the electric power in your house stopped, okay? We use the verb to go out, or past tense, went out. The electricity went out. So let's break down the grammar in this sentence. We have the past progressive here. He was cleaning, right? He was cleaning his house when This word marks the point of interruption, okay? Tells us an interruption or a change in the temporary continuing action. Then we change to past tense. The electricity went out, okay? So we can use past progressive and simple past tense together with an interrupted action like this. We'll use when. I'll show you another example in the story in just a moment. Okay, some examples are coming in. Great. Inazuma wrote she was doing her school project at 7 p.m. last night. Just get rid of that first last, maybe just a typing mistake, yeah? Pihu wrote, I was doing something when you came here. Okay, vague but good, grammar is correct. Patterns, you have we was at highway, we were. Make sure your be verb matches your subject, yeah? We were, right? Was is for I was, he was, she was, it was. When you use the subject we were, yeah? Watch out for that, and then try again. Let's see others. Pihu has another one. I was eating food when don't forget when the electricity went out, okay? Kashaf, I was doing my homework when my ink, good guess, goes out should be when my ink ran out. We say to run out of something when we have no more supply. Like when your ink in your pen, you have no more, we say it ran out. Why do we use run for that? I don't know. Run has lots and lots of uses, something crazy, like 141, I think. So don't worry if it's confusing, that's just the way it is. So my ink ran out. Erickson wrote, I was walking down the street when I got caught in the rain. Nice, good ones. Okay. Facebook, hello everybody on Facebook. I see no example sentences. Your YouTube classmates are doing an amazing job. Step it up. Okay, let's go to the last section here then. Simultaneous actions. Simultaneous is maybe a big new word, right? Simultaneous actions means actions that happen at the same time, yeah? Very simple, big word, but it helps us express something very simply. So what does this mean? Simultaneous actions with while. This means, I'll put this in green, we want to express two continuing actions at the same time. So if we go back to our timeline, good, we can still see it, we can imagine that these two actions are happening together. The blue line is one action, the green line is another action, right? So we can use while to express that those two actions are happening together, and we have to do this with two past progressive sections. Let's look at the example and you can send me yours in the chat, okay? So let me change back to red. I was listening to music while doing my homework. I was listening to music while doing my homework. We're going to talk about two key points here. First, I was listening, right here. Past progressive, I was matches the subject, I. I was listening, okay? So here's our first action, the blue line. Then we have while. Here's our flag word, the word that tells us there's something else happening here, right? It tells us two things are happening. I have doing, while doing my homework, all right? You might notice here, there's no I was. Oh no, is that wrong? No, because if your subject is the same subject, this action and this action, action 1 and action 2, if they are done by the same subject, you can remove the subject and the be verb. I was listening to music while doing my homework. Both actions, me, okay? So you don't need to include I was. You can say, I was listening to music while I was doing my homework. Perfect sentence also. But native speakers like to drop that. We like to make the sentence nice and short and efficient. So I recommend you practice this too. You will see this a lot in books also. So you can put two together, just don't forget your ing form. I notice many learners forget the ing in the second action there, yeah? So watch out for that. Okay, let me come to the chat. Oh my gosh, some examples. Okay, control desk, I see your note. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh, some examples, and then I'll tell them again about our special amazing PDFs. So, some examples. Inazuma, I was doing my homework while eating my snacks. Perfect. Where did it go? There you go, Patton. I was watching the teacher explaining past tense and playing games on my smartphone. You're watching my lesson and playing games in class. You told me. I appreciate your honesty, but you're here to learn, right? Okay, Pihu wrote, I was eating food while attending your class. Good. Minnow wrote, while doing morning yoga, I was watching your live stream. Many of you are doing other things while you watch the live stream. I'm glad you are here. But do you take notes? It might be helpful. Some others. My sister was watching TV while brushing her teeth. Good. John wrote, we were having dinner while talking about our day. Good. On Facebook, I was doing my homework when my mother called me, said Hannah. Welcome, Hannah. Nice one. Good. Perfect interruption one. All right. Phew, that was a lot. So let's finish part 2. You did a great job with part 2. Sorry, Control Desk, I'm going to move. I hope that's okay. We'll finish part 2. Yay. And then I will remind you quickly about this amazing thing that I told you about before. The team has free PDF cheat sheets. Free to download. I don't know how many, there's like 30 or 40 now. So if you have not checked recently, please click the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube or above the video if you're watching on Facebook to find this page. You can download all of them. You don't have to choose only one. You can choose all of them and download. You can put it on your computer, on your phone. You can print it and put it on your refrigerator, wherever. You just need your name and an email address to make a free account at EnglishClass101.com. Come back to this page and you can download everything. Go crazy. I hope it's helpful. Phew. Okay, let's continue to the last part. Bakri on Facebook has a good question. Can we use while with past tense also? So the question, I believe, is can we use while to talk about 2 past tense actions at the same time? The answer is no, because we have past progressive. The point with past progressive is the action is continuing, yeah? So we have something ongoing. With past tense, the action is finished, right? So we can't talk about 2 actions that are finished at the same time. It doesn't quite work. We need something that is continuing to use with while. So the answer to your question, Bakri, is no. We cannot use past tense in the same way with while. Okay, great. Let's continue to the last part, an easy part. Let's see how we can make a simple, super simple daily life story with these 2 grammar points. These are the feature grammar points here. Easy story. You can think about this and how to tell a story like this in your life today. Okay? Let's take a look. Let's break down the grammar sentence by sentence. First, this morning, when I was making breakfast, the phone rang. This morning, when I was making breakfast, the phone rang. So, what's happening here? We have a couple things. This morning, when I was making breakfast, and we have this when, right? This was our hint word that says an interruption is going to happen. So you might also notice I put this before the past progressive phrase. It's okay to do that. You could say, this morning I was making breakfast when the phone rang. This is also okay, as we practiced here. You can also put it before the past progressive section. That's okay to do. So here's our flag, our hint. An interruption is coming. The phone rang. Here is my past tense sentence. Here's my past tense verb, when the phone rang, okay? So the next sentence, my mom was on the phone. My mom was on the phone. In this case, I have was here. My mom was on the phone. Or we could say my mom called me. So we have a past tense follow-up. Second, third, she was driving to work at the time. Here we have another past progressive. She was driving to work at the time. So at the time she called me, okay? Next, she told me some exciting news. Here is a simple past tense sentence. She told me. Following, she booked a flight to come and visit me. Another simple past sentence. She booked a flight to come and see me. So to book a flight means to make a reservation or to buy a ticket for a flight. To book a flight. In past tense, booked. She booked a flight to come and see me. I was so happy. Okay? We finish with another simple past tense sentence. Okay? So you can see how we can combine these 2 grammar points, just these 2 grammar points, to make a simple story that explains our actions in the day and how we communicated with other people, and we talk about our feelings as well, too. These are very simple grammar points, but they can do a lot for us, yeah? So we can use these kinds of words like when and while to do a lot of heavy lifting in the sentence, okay? Oh my gosh, look at that. I'm right on time. That's amazing. Let me check your comments then. I see a few. On Facebook, someone said, I tried to download, but I don't know where the mistake. You can maybe contact our customer support. I am not the customer support person, but our customer support will be happy to help you if you need a little bit of help to download these things. I would say make sure you log in to EnglishClass101.com and then go back to the page again. Make sure you're all logged in if you made an account. That's maybe my suggestion. Ty on Facebook wrote, I'm listening. So you've got a present progressive sentence. So to make it past, I was listening to your live while I was cooking lunch for my family, if you want to make it a past progressive sentence. Over on YouTube, I was eating dinner while watching the television. Very, very close. When you use while, Kiddle, CPW, Edison Kid, sorry if I said your name wrong, I don't know. Make sure your second verb also uses the ing form. So not watch, but watching. I was eating dinner while watching the television. Then it's perfect, okay? Erickson has, I was watching TV while eating my lunch. Very nice, okay. Someone, I can't read your name. I don't know how to read the script. I was working when my wife cooking. When means it's interrupted, right? I was working while my wife was cooking. Maybe that's what you want to say. And let's see, the next one, Paula wrote, I was learning English language while watching YouTube videos. Okay, so I was learning English language while watching YouTube videos is okay. I might say different grammar, like I was learning English language through or by watching YouTube videos. But that's, I mean, we can understand that one. Nice. Others, oh my gosh, so many. Susan wrote, I was thinking about my homework during I'm eating dinner. Okay, let's take out during. You're very, very close, Susan. I was thinking about my homework while eating dinner with my family. So I know that during and while have very similar uses. They are used to explain two things happening at the same time. But for grammar, the grammar we use for those two are different. So for today, to practice this point, I was thinking about my homework while eating dinner with my family. Then it's perfect. Okay, Inazuma, I hope that answers your question. During cannot be 100% replaced with while, but they do have similar points. I think I have some YouTube videos about this. You can do a search on the English Class 101 YouTube channel to get some points there. Okay, I'm a little over time, so thank you everybody. If I missed you today, I'm very sorry. I will try, as always, to make sure to read some sentences from you next time. But I have to finish for this week. So if you want to take a screenshot, if you want today's lesson notes, I will put the QR code on the screen from this button. Okay, so if you want to take a picture with your phone, you can do that here now and get today's lesson notes. There we go, great. So that will have everything I wrote on the board. I hope that is helpful for you. Okay, so that's all for this week. Oh my gosh, that was a lot. We got through it. Nice job, everybody. Let me see what I put for next week's live lesson. I'll be back next week at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, please Google it, or you can set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube to get a pop-up when we start the live stream. Hooray! Next week, I'm going to talk about explaining your habits, your good habits, your bad habits, and the desired habits, meaning what habits do you want to make for yourself? This will be a really good one. This is really good for like close personal relationships to talk about what you're good at and maybe what you need to work on a little bit more. So please join me next week to talk about your habits in English. That will be lots and lots of fun. Don't forget to go and download the free PDF cheat sheets. Oh my gosh, there are so many of them. I hope they are very helpful for your vocabulary. Go crazy there. So thank you everybody for joining me this week. Thank you for your great questions, your great comments, your great example sentences. Amazing. Have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again next time.